Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and it's been a muggy day here on the allotment. It's quite late actually. I'm into the evening now and I'm about to put my tomatoes in. So sit back, relax and enjoy today's show. Well, I've waited long enough and here I am inside my polytunnel because it's tomato planting out time, and I'm doing something different this year. Last year I had the water drip system, which is actually above my head here and on the floor. If you remember, I was watering directly to the top of the roots actually on the tomatoes. This year I'm going deep down. So what I've done is I've dug big holes, and the tomato plants actually are probably in about a foot already because they're quite big, and I've put next to it, yes, you've guessed it, an old plastic bottle. Now there's many ways you can do this to help drip the water into the soil. Some people drill holes in the end. I don't do that. Well, I'll show you. Let's put some water in this one. Now at the moment, of course, the lid is tightly shut. However, if you just loosen it a little bit, it will come up along the sides of the lid, and you can regulate how much water comes out. You can have it a drip or quite a stream, and place that right at the bottom of the tomato plants, which means that the ground below the tomatoes will get the water, and that's what you want. You want their roots deep down in the soil, and so that's been rather useful to do. I've done that, and all three of these plants have got that. What I've also done is above the ground I've placed one of these plant pots with no bottom in. So you place it above the ground and fill the soil in. So yet again, these here have another half a foot, well, almost a foot actually, of soil. So they're really deep rooted and they'll grow roots into here. Now because I'm watering directly to the bottom with my lovely watering system, then even if it's drought, the soil below the ground will be really moist. The important thing is that I need to do now is I've pre-watered the soil. They've all had a full one of those pumped in to encourage their roots down. And what I'm going to do next is absolutely nothing. I'm going to leave them now for a week to 10 days for them to establish their root system into the floor, because it's really damp and moist, and they'll send out their shoots and their roots looking for water, and that'll make these into very strong, productive tomato plants. So remember, deep down, water the roots, because if you water at the surface like I did last year, you'll get tomatoes but you won't get as many, and they'll become really quite unstable. You want the roots to develop underground, protecting them from the heat of the summer heat wave that I'm sure we're going to get at some point. Tomatoes. Next time we're doing cucumbers, and they're going exactly the same way really. But I'm going to carry on planting all my tomatoes out, and well, fingers crossed we get a bumper crop this year. I'm just taking a break from inside the polytunnel because it's gone really muggy here on the allotment, and I thought whilst I take a break, let's have a look at some photographs from a couple of viewers. First is Lisa, and Lisa, you're near Tadcaster in Yorkshire, and you've sent this lovely picture in, and you're trying to grow your own lemon tree or lemon bush, depending on which variety you have. Not quite sure, because look at your first photograph. You've planted just a normal lemon pip and it's growing. Isn't it fantastic? And now look at the second picture, and this is where we're at today. So fingers crossed, Lisa, that comes up really well. And you never know, in 10 years time, I'm only kidding, Lisa, you might get your own lemon tree. Brilliant stuff. And now we're going across to Gainsborough, to Kate. And Kate, you said you've given up on growing vegetables because you're sick and tired of all those slugs and the snails and the pests attacking your plants, and you get very little out of it. You've decided this year to grow sunflowers and flowers in general, but particularly sunflowers. And you've sent me this photograph of your young sunflowers. So now the hot weather's here, they'll start just shooting up, and you'll soon be able to get them in the ground. It's never too late to enter the sunflower competition, so get your sunflowers in. Even now they'll come up. And remember, it's the tallest sunflower, the largest sunflower head, and how many sunflower heads you can have on one plant. Now, I'm not showing off, but ta-da! This is one of my giant sunflowers, which now has to go into the ground because it needs to be staked and it needs to be fed, and it needs some sunshine. That's why they're called sunflowers. Once again, Thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and I'll see you here next time on my Yorkshire Allotment. Ta-ra for now.